Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball team, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shea Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Wells, a rhythm three. Yes, sir! That's an exclamation point on this game.
Grizz fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365-plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling of having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Monday, March 30th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, we had an all-time moment in the NCAA tournament. Final Four is set on the men's side. Last day of Elite Eight action. On the women's side, we'll get into all the tournament action from the weekend. Gary Parrish will join us in the third segment, as he does each and every Monday. We are in his studio this morning. We're coming for GP's studio. Just kidding. Our lights didn't work when we came in on a Monday morning. That's okay. We are here anyway. We had 2 Grizzlies games this weekend. The team went 1-1. We have another Grizzlies game tonight. We will get into that. We'll do some Hot Mess Express. We've got all kinds of things to get into on this Monday. CJ.
Yo.
It's weird sitting here without the glass.
Last time we were in here, we did the line dance. We did the Tamia line dance.
What a time that was.
I was kicking it with the niece and the nephew, and Help Me Find My Draws came on the radio. And my niece goes, hey, you know there's a line dance list. I said, oh, no, I did not.
Well, luckily, we got the cameras up and moving this morning, so we didn't have to go into another line dance. But we could have gone into another new line dance.
I could have shown you the help me find my draws line dance.
Or we could recreate the play from last night's UConn Duke game.
What an
because we can never
incredible
show
play.
it. I want to start with the NCAA tournament. Of course, it is a Grizzlies game day. We'll get into all of that. But that last game and that last shot yesterday, because we had sat through Elite Eight action that had given us a 12-point Illinois win over Iowa, a 15-point Arizona win over Purdue.
Come on with it.
Absolute demolishing by
Come on with it.
Michigan over Tennessee, a 33-point win there. And then it looked like we were going to get just another blowout. Cruise through another blowout. Duke goes up 19 in the first half of that game. They were up 15 at the half. UConn chips away. At one point, I texted one of my group chats. I said, God, if only UConn could make a three, they might have a chance to actually do something here, because at one point they were 1 of 18 from the three-point line. I think they made 4 or 5 over the final stretch of that game, but they got it within 2 in the game's final seconds. It's Duke's ball. Duke's ball up to 10 seconds left, and Duke inexplicably turns it over. The ball is tipped, and there you are, and Braylon Mullins delivers one of those tournament moments that we will never forget. That is the kind of highlight that we will see over and over and over again for decades and decades and decades until we are dead, and then the next generation runs with it. We have the Leitner shot, we have the Bryce Drew shot, we have the Chris Jenkins shot, we have that Northern Iowa shot. We have had some incredible shots in March Madness history.
Jordan Poole.
The Jordan Poole shot, the Suggs shot.
Mm-hmm.
We will now have the Mullins Miracle as Braylon Mullins hits a 35-foot game-winning three with 0.3 seconds left on the clock.
They put a 10th on. 0.4.
0.4 seconds
Jessica,
on
just
the clock.
1/10. Wait.
Math is hard.
Wait.
It's early. It's been a long morning already. It's only 8:07.
As we end Women's History Month, right?
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM. What
if
is
you have 0.3 tenths plus 0.1, it's 0.4.
Listen, I'm more about the arts than I am about the maths. But I will say, I genuinely leapt off my couch. Like, rose from my couch, said holy one expletive, and then another holy expletive.
Did you care?
No, and that's my point.
Okay.
I don't care. I had Duke winning it all in my bracket. That's not enough. The point being, that is the kind of moment in sports where it does not matter if you have any rooting interest in Duke, in UConn, in basketball itself. It is the kind of moment that gets you up off of your couch and screaming whatever it is. Or maybe you're on the couch and you're screaming, or you're up and you're not screaming, but just the sheer rush of emotion that hits you. How was your reaction? You already had the Michigan moment earlier, so I imagine you were charged.
I was watching that game like, I don't care. And I had decided, because I read a couple of articles, or one article talking about, is it gauche pache to hate on Duke now? And I read that. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's not the same Duke without Coach K. I don't think I really like the Boozers. I like both of them. And then that shot went in. So I'm laying in coffin style on the couch, just long lay. That shot goes in. I rise like Dracula himself. Scream, oh, bleep. Oh, mother bleeping bleep. And now I all of a sudden care. Like I cared all along. That's what I realized. I was watching it like I didn't care, but I cared all along, and I just have to hate them. I do. It made me happy to see Duke lose like that. It was incredible.
I remember my husband, to further your point, because I read the exact same article. I had the exact same feelings. Shire's a likable guy.
Yeah.
Losers are likable. Do we really hate Duke? I have great friends who are massive Duke fans. I said, maybe I want good things in their life.
Grayson Allen is about to retire from the NBA. That's how long ago it was. He was at Duke.
It's been a long, long time. My husband, who was sicker than a dog all day yesterday, and barely spoke words. Like, eyes closed watching the game, barely speaking words. And I just remember at one point he goes, "Get a hand up, you idiot!" And it's like Isaiah Evans, a Final Four on the line. Don't dare the dude to make it. He doesn't get a hand up. Somebody said his Instagram profile, I did not double check this, is literally like, get a hand up. Like within his bio or the name of his Instagram profile. Hate it for him. But man, like Mullins himself, he was just happy to see that shit go in. That was his walk-off interview with Tracy Wolfson. Mullins also said that he thought that it was for the tie. Which the added lore of this is all fantastic.
Which is why that wasn't a good shot. right? Like he's from the chest to try and heave it in. That's almost a half court shot for him. It goes in, but like what the hell type situational work are we doing in the game that I love? Because at a certain point, somebody in practice has got to go, okay, ball gets turned over. We're up to no threes. Everybody after that turnover has got to be yelling, shout on the court. Mm-hmm. This can't be coaches. It's got to be the players on the court. Got to be shouting. We need to talk about that turnover also. But after that turnover, everybody's got to shout, get into them, no threes. Everybody's got to say that. Instead, it happened quick. It was boom, boom.
Well, because he gets the steal.
And 2 seconds 2 seconds later, it goes up.
Excellent. I mean, we'll talk about the shot forever, but the pass from Caravan, and Caravan being one of those players who you see him pop up and you go, God, that guy is still playing college basketball. Heady vet move to give up his opportunity of taking that shot because he saw his teammate with a better open opportunity to take that shot. I thought that was excellent.
I don't think he thought he was going to shoot it.
I think the time was running out.
I think he thought, all right, not from there. I think he thought, okay,
yeah, he's gonna drive.
Like put the ball on the floor and do something. They're all over here on me. Nobody thought my man was going to take that shot.
God, that was our first ever game-winning three in the final second of an Elite Eight game per CBS. Obviously, there have been game winners like Luke May most recently, but this was a three that sent a team to the Final Four, and it was 35 feet out.
Yeah.
And you add all of the layers onto it, like first time a 1 seed up 15+ at half has ever lost in the NCAA tournament. And I will remind you again, Duke was up 2 with 10 seconds and the ball. And then Braylon Mullins being from Indiana, and Dan Hurley tells the story on his post-game interview that when they recruited him, he was Mr. Basketball in Indiana last year. 5-star, McDonald's All-American guy. And Dan Hurley said, we're going to get you back to your home. We're going to get you to Indianapolis. And now Braylon Mullins is the guy who hits the game-winning shot to send UConn to Indianapolis. This tournament always delivers. Like, even as I was sitting there yesterday, convinced that there's no way Duke is going to lose this game. And honestly, till the very end. It's like, there's no way that Duke is going to lose this game.
Till the turnover happened and the shot went in.
Even after the turnover, I didn't think the shot was going in.
Yeah.
But I had to have thought a little bit because I was in the process. I mean, it all happened so fast, but I was up fast on my little feet. Oh, God. That's what it's all about. What a time. He was 0 of 4 from 3 yesterday. He had been 10 of 57 from 3 over his last 9 games, and that's when you get your shot back. That's where you take that big one. Oh, my God. You want to talk about the turnover?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Be strong with the ball.
I'm devastated.
For
Caden Boozer.
Why?
Because that is, for every, oh my God, what a shot moment, there is somebody who has to be the one who, and a basketball game is made up of hundreds of plays. But to be the one who is responsible for that play, it hurts. It hurts me. And you throw in the layer of like, brother of Cam Boozer. He's always secondary in the conversation. Your brother is going to be the one who's this generational draft pick.
You don't want to be the secondary one. Don't have that turnover. Like that. There's a reason why you can't do that there. Falling back, throwing back off your back leg, almost jumping backwards, fadeaway style to throw. No, you can't do that. You're up. You're up too. Hold the ball. I get what he saw. We all saw what he saw. He saw 2 dudes wide the hell open down there. Be strong with your ball and make a better pass. Or just hold it and get fouled. That looked like a moment that was too large for an individual. And that's to be expected. He is a freshman. We'll see what happens next season when he comes back. He'll get a chance to redeem himself because he's not going pro.
Brother. I do give him a ton of credit. Like, you've talked about the lessons in these moments. We just saw that Nebraska sends 4 players on the court. That's devastating and embarrassing for a Nebraska team. And then you have their coach get up and put the onus on him. We talk about the Chris Webber timeout and the teammate who puts his arm around him on the way off. I thought Caden Boozer sitting there and talking to the media, there are a lot of guys who would have skirted that media availability.
A lot of professionals.
Yes.
Like that, like professionals
he's a freshman.
will skirt that. Yeah.
And he sat there and he took the questions and he went through the play and he talked about how he feels like he let his brother down. And I give him a ton of credit for, in that moment, being as devastated as he was and embarrassed. Like, I think that's a fair word.
Rightfully so.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
But for him to still do that, all the credit to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All the credit to him. People can learn lessons from what these young men do in March, handling heartbreak and how they step to the podium still. They remain professionals, and they sit down and they field some of the some tough questions. Not because the question itself is hard. The question is, what were you thinking there? It's just the moment and the magnitude and the freshness of it all is hard. And that's when, like we've talked about it, you learn what it is to be a grown up dealing with adversity. And I learned that. I don't know, 18 years that dude's senior, and he's teaching me 20 years his senior. He's teaching me how to handle adversity. Now, he's the reason the adversity is there, but still, when it's your fault, you still have to be accountable. And I, like you, commend him for being accountable. But that turnover, it still can't happen. It just can't. It's 5-6 seconds left in the game. You have the ball. Just hold it. If you can't, you make the pass fake, they both jump. Don't panic. Just hold on to it. Hold it. They've got to foul you. And even if you miss both free throws, now they've got to go the length of the court. So, like, that's a...
it's not like UConn played a perfect game. I mean, it truly is. I know Braylon makes the shot, so that wins the game. But Duke lost the game more than UConn won the game.
Yeah, Duke is up 5, 6, 7 points, final 2 minutes of that game. It's just like, hey, be strong with your ball. Get a couple of stops, get rebounds, and you'll be good to go. Also, UConn had a bunch of dudes with 4 fouls, if I recall correctly. A bunch of bigs with 4 fouls. I thought that down the stretch, the Cam Boozer play where he puts the ball on the floor. UConn is mounting a comeback. He puts the ball on the floor, gets a spin move, gets pushed as well as faces a little contact from his teammate, and still finishes there. It's like, okay, that's a strong move and a clutch moment right there. He's going to be all right. They needed somebody else. They needed something else to help them out the last 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of that game when it was clear UConn was just going to fight. And Duke had to find a way to fight them and hold on a little bit longer. And unfortunately for Duke, but fortunately for me, a Duke hater, it didn't work out their way. Did you see Hurley?
Hater.
You see Hurley losing it on the sideline? Yes. That's some good stuff right there.
Hurley is one of the greatest characters. Love him. Hate. I saw somebody say the real way that you know that people still hate Duke is that you had people excited for Dan Hurley.
I don't
hate Hurley. I find him a tremendous character. I think he's hysterical. And he now has taken teams to the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years. 3 of the last 4 years.
I'm this close to loving him. I'm this close.
Diabolical.
I'm this close to loving him. He's on the sideline losing. That shot goes in. Thought he was going to take the whole shirt off.
And his interview at the end was just like, he's naming all the greats who did it before him. And I just thought it was like, it was perfect. It was the perfect end to it all. And you have Duke beat up Cameron Boozer with the swollen eye afterwards. Was perfect. Coming off of the St. John's game that happened, was that Friday night?
Yep.
Yeah. Where his jersey's torn, and now you have the swollen eye. Terrence Reed was putting in the work. How'd they get the soda can in? Like, notoriously, you cannot drink things when you work an NCAA tournament or for the teams. You can only drink out of those official March Madness cups. They are insane about it. There are security people everywhere, and they pulled that Coke can to his eye, and I said, how did he get that through? How did he have the opportunity to do that? Anyway, also crazy. I haven't heard enough people talk about this because we're very hyper-focused in this world. So in the same weekend, Duke is on the wrong side of that kind of moment. Their women's team had that kind of moment in their Sweet 16 game against LSU. They had, Ashlyn Jackson had one of the best pump fake game winners that you will see over Flau'jae Johnson. Kim Mulkey's face after, you want a coach reacting to something? Just couldn't believe her eyes. One of those, you just have to respect the shot. So in the same weekend, the Duke women win on one of the better game winners that we have seen on the women's side in a long time. And the Duke men lose on one of those shots that we will remember forever as the Mullins Miracle, I've seen it called. So that's sports, baby.
With this moment, if we did the draft today, would you draft this moment?
I don't want to have recency bias, but yes.
I got you.
It's everything coming together.
Yeah.
For one of, I think we'll think about it as one of the greatest moments in sports. We talk about specifically great March Madness moments, but the Leitner shot, for example, every now and then it will make one of those best moments ever in all of sports. And I think there can be people who can make a true case for this being one of those. Time will tell how it is truly remembered, but at least coming off of it the morning after, yes, that's how it felt yesterday.
I think you've got to win it all, right? Like
for it to be that. We don't. You rattled off a bunch of big shots and left off the Jordan Poole shot. Not out of any disrespect to Michigan or Jordan Poole, but because that team didn't win it all. All those other shots you named, I do believe they ended up winning it all. And obviously the Jenkins one
is
not the Northern Iowa. That Northern Iowa
was just different.
One. I don't even know the dude's name. Yeah. I realized that when I was going through it.
Northern Iowa is just like, look at the Cinderella.
Yes.
Right? Like that's that thing.
For sure.
But in order for that shot to go down as one of the greatest in sports history, UConn, that shot has to be what catapults UConn through the rest of the tournament and to their 6th national championship, 7th?
6 Final Four. No.
How many national championships do they have? They got. Would this be their 5?
6. I believe it's 6.
Okay, so
UConn
somewhere between 5 and 7 national championships.
If it's hard. They've won 6.
Okay, so this would be their 7th. Yeah.
Wow. How many appearances do they have total now? That's where I was going to go next. Because the women have 25 after their win.
Well, whatever.
Yesterday,
that's UConn women. That's like death taxes and Gino Auriemma having a UConn team
men
dominate.
Have been to 8 Final Fours.
Okay.
And the UConn women have been to 25 after a valiant effort by Notre Dame yesterday. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into the other tournament action. Have to give CJ a full opportunity to celebrate what was the most dominating win over the weekend as Michigan defeats the Vols.
I can't wait. Beat the Vols and Alabama. SE who? SE what?
Conference of Champions what?
Let's go. Conference of who?
Champions.
For who?
The Big Ten. I know you.
F the Big Ten.
Right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More tournament
Bunch of losers.
And the Grizzlies weekend on the other side.
Just Michigan left. And I guess Illinois.
And Illinois.
We're not counting Illinois.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies Vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
The Grizzlies have been consistent as one of the top 2 or 3 most productive benches all season long.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org.
Welcome back. That was an all-time moment in NCAA tournament history. Earlier in the day, the poor, sad Tennessee Volunteers had to go up against what has been the great behemoth of this year's tournament. Michigan wins 95-62. I will turn it over to Mr. Michigan himself.
I'm not going to go full Michigan.
I know, because you haven't won yet.
Michigan, but like that is impressive. We talked maybe December sometime. I was like, yo, I don't see it with Yaxel. I don't understand where all of this hype is coming from. But I'll go the last 2 games of the regular season. One of them was Michigan State, last game of the regular season, and then the Big Ten tournament, and then what he's done here in this tournament is like, oh, okay, I get it now. He makes you, if you hadn't watched Michigan, this is not what they've been beating the hell out of teams, sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm. You know, just throwing this out there is one of the things that we talk about all the time, or I hear people talk about all the time. If you just took Michigan's record in double-digit wins in the Big Ten, a conference that sent, 6 teams to the Sweet 16 and 2 teams to the Final Four, if you just took the double-digit wins, they'd still win the Big Ten by 2 games, right? They've been beating the hell out of people, but not in this way, where it is very clearly Yaxel's thing.
Yeah.
Morez Johnson Jr. is having off games. Mara is having off games as well. You never know what you're going to get. Is it going to be good Cadeau or bad Cadeau? You don't know with Cadeau. That's what I say about him. Don't know with Cadeau. But you know what you're getting from Yaxel, and he steps in, and we look around, and we say this time and time again with teams dealing with injuries, or if somebody's having an off game, hey, who's going to pick up the slack? Yeah. Who's going to carry them through it? And time again, the last month of the season has been Yaxel. Yaxel stepped to that microphone at halftime for the halftime interview, and I can't remember exactly what the question was.
But it was how
something.
Do you not? Because I thought it was actually phrased in a good way. Like, how do you not let go of the rope?
Yeah.
In some capacity.
And Yaxel's answer is basketball talk, yeah. And then something along the lines of they can't compete, they don't want to compete, they're not capable of competing. He basically tells the world, hey, Tennessee's not as good as we are. They can't hold this. They can't keep up with this. Mm-hmm. It got chippy. Got people just running up, bumping into Morez Johnson Jr. for some strange reason. And you got Yaxel on the sideline as they're calling him outside his name. They're calling him bitches. He's like, yo, y'all are down 30. What are you talking about? Telling a team who's calling you outside your name, shut up, you're down 30. Oh, that warmed my... Before that shot went in against Duke, because I'm a hater before I'm a lover, that was my moment. That was my moment for the tournament, right? Yaxel looking Tennessee players in their eyes, telling them, you suck. You're pitiful. Get off my damn court.
You want to know what I think said that even more?
What?
And this was my moment from that game. You know it's an embarrassment.
When the coach's
son gets to play in an Elite 8 game, make a shot in the Elite game, and the Michigan fans went crazy. That might be... Duke lost in an embarrassing fashion. The second most embarrassing thing happened was Charlie May having the chance to hit a three in an
And
Elite Eight game.
They put some redhead dude in with a bowl cut.
I was like, that is
They put Dusty
disrespectful.
Mays kid in as well. Like, I'm looking at the dudes on the court. It's like, oh, these are the other guys.
Oh man.
That's not great.
You talk about Yaxel having a really great tournament. Another tournament riser for me has been Keaton Wagler, who has been on one, and Illinois advances with their win over Iowa. Before we get to the Wagler piece of it, I did genuinely enjoy seeing my Iowa friends react to, because like Duke's supposed to win. Duke's a 1 seed, right? These Iowa fans, by the time you get to the Elite Eight, by the time you beat Nebraska, and I know Illinois is a Big Ten rival as well, they were just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
Like they genuinely said, this is gravy, right? Like, are you disappointed that your team doesn't make the Final Four? Sure. But are you just elated that you have this former D2 coach and a roster littered with some former D2 players make it all the way to the Elite Eight and have the opportunity to play for a chance in the Final Four? I just thought it was a cool representation. I haven't had my team in like a place like that in a long time. And USC has an arrogance to it. But Iowa basketball does not have an arrogance to it. And I thought it came out in that moment for them to just, we're just happy to be here. Don't cry because it's over. Truly, that's a cliche we throw out all the time, but like truly smile because it happened.
Yeah, Michigan also beat the hell out of Alabama. I don't want to let Alabama go off of this either. You transitioned before I was done taking shots at the SEC. But to your point, so much of this is luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Like so much of it is. If I was playing somebody who isn't Illinois in the Elite Eight, somebody who they played, twice already this season? Maybe 3 times twice, I think. Maybe it's a different result, but no, they draw Illinois. Poor Rick Barnes in Tennessee, legit, truthfully. 3 Elite Eight trips, all 3 losses, all 3 the number 1 overall seeds. Not overall seeds, number 1 seeds. Never gotten a chance where one of the ones aren't there. So while before I continue to take shots at Tennessee, Alabama, and the rest of the SEC, I do want to acknowledge the fact that Tennessee, as a 6 seed, got to the Elite Eight, and 6 seeds aren't typically supposed to do that. And while it does, I understand it being frustrating for a Volunteers fan because you want to get to the Final Four. Hell, making it to the Elite Eight is impressive.
Yes.
That's a good season for anybody. I don't want that to get lost amidst me talking all of my trash about Michigan and how they're the rightful SEC champions now. So Michigan won the Big Ten title, got to the Final Four, and they're SEC champions as well. When you look at the way they just dismantled Alabama, who is also trying to get chippy for some reason. I don't understand that. Alabama and Tennessee. All right, I'm done for now taking shots. We were talking about Illinois and Iowa.
Keaton Wagler.
Wagler.
That little Penny Hardaway spin backpedal 3 was, again, sometimes there are plays that happen in the tournament that I feel so disappointed that we can't show on here because of the rights. That's one of them. Like, that made the rounds. The defender on Wagler is so far back down into the paint. He is the one who takes the ball out of the basket and inbounds it. Like, that's disgusting. Oh, it was so disgusting.
To get crossed.
Oh, God.
To get crossed at the elbow. Crossed so hard, you end up underneath the basket?
That's like dejection.
It's like, okay, man, you got it. Whatever.
Right.
You're better than me at this. You're fine. Whatever. Go ahead.
25 points from Wagler. He has such a crazy journey, and we talked about it earlier in the season when he had that 40-plus point game, but unranked by ESPN, under-recruited, ends up at Illinois, and now he's, been awesome in the tournament, and he has a massive Elite Eight performance and has risen to the occasion. Sometimes those guys they have those question marks because they were under-recruited, so why? So is he going to falter off at some point? And he still averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He has been someone, for me, where I feel more confident about Wagler coming out of this tournament. And even now we'll have the opportunity to see him perform in the Final Four as well.
That collection of guards. Yeah. Wagler, Flemings.
Akov.
No. Filan.
Oh.
Right, like that collection. Do you feel differently about who's the one you feel most differently about?
Wagler. Just from
after
you handle
the tournament
big moment?
Because Akov is different. Yeah. I think of that bunch, Akov has separated himself. Okay. I think those 3, for me, are roughly in the same territory of
I would
Hooper.
put Phylon outside of
Really?
Flemings and Wagler. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Is there a reason why?
no.
Okay.
Just feel. I don't have a technical
Listen, my
rationale to go behind it.
my man was out there dropping 20+ points in tournament games.
Yeah, and I do think back on Phylon, like the tape that impressed me most on Phylon was that it was the Alabama-Arkansas game where it was Phylon versus Acuff.
Yeah.
And Acuff just happened to win that round. And so
He's out there.
And then he gets put on kind of a different path.
He's out there hooping in braids that clearly need to be touched up. I like that. I need my hoopers to look a little. I need my hoopers to be a little ashy. I need them to have some naps going in their braids, man. That tells me you're focused. You're focused. You're not listening to no music in the pregame, and you're not sitting down to get your hair done because you got to watch film. You got to get out there and get shots up.
The other player from Illinois that I genuinely enjoyed watching, and he was huge in that game, that David Mirkovic.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Montenegro, and so when they went to cut down the nets at the end of the game, did you see this?
No.
He didn't know what to do. He grabbed the net and starts just trying to pull it down. And his teammate had to be like, no, bro, here's the scissors. Get back up there. Let me do an example for you. This is how it actually goes. You gotta take it. You cut off your little piece of the net. But between that and then Mirkovic was also, the whole team looked like they were having a blast. Talk about appreciating the moment. On to the next. You have to have the Final Four.
Stop shaking the ladder,
Don't
boy.
shake the ladder. That's dangerous. They had a water gun fight in the locker room,
Good.
which I appreciated. And Mirkovic is perched up on a locker with a cowboy hat on, just going to town on the squirt gun fights. In terms of someone who I didn't know a lot about, he's now one of my favorite people left in this tournament. I thought it was fun.
Why
It was a good time.
there? That's
It was
awesome.
a good time.
That's good
Arizona
stuff.
also looked really impressive this weekend. So we do get the 1 seeds in Arizona and Michigan, and then we get the 3 seed in Illinois and the 2 seed in UConn at this year's Final Four.
At one point, I guess 50 seconds left in the Duke UConn games, this is good. The 3 best teams, clearly the 3 best teams in college basketball are all going to go to the Final Four, and then we're gonna find out which one of them is the best. And then Duke let go of the rope, and we had the miracle shot, and so Duke's not in it. It is it's gonna be fun. You got the good teams, man.
You got the good teams.
You got
and
the good
some
teams in.
players.
You got great players in.
Yeah.
I guess it's gonna be fun to sit down and watch. I can't wait.
I know.
And
Me too.
my Michigan ticket,
It's looking great.
it's still alive. Still alive.
You are
and
correct.
The women's team got a big
They
one
play
against
today.
Texas.
They play today.
Yeah.
UConn and UCLA are both in on the women's side
Mm-hmm.
after their wins yesterday. Texas, Michigan play today. South Carolina, TCU play today as well. Briefly on UConn. UConn is so insane. As mentioned, 25 straight trips. Oh my God, can you imagine straight? No, 25 total trips in program history to the Final Four. I'm not going to say UConn was at risk of losing that game to Notre Dame yesterday when they win by 18, but it was a 7-point game at half, which is not territory that UConn is particularly familiar with, especially a Notre Dame team that they beat by damn near 40 earlier this season. And what's so crazy about UConn is that it's not best player in the country, Sarah Strong, or Azzi Fudd, who's responsible for really keeping them afloat and ultimately pushing them forward in that game. It's another freshman. It's Blanca Quinones, who scores 20 points. She's the difference maker. And you're like, how do they have another one? And you're just watching it play out. And Strong ended with 21. But Quinones was awesome. 14 over 20 coming in that first half. We do have to talk. Hannah Hidalgo had one of the all-time performances in tournament history, not against UConn yesterday, but in their Sweet 16 win over Vandy, an upset win. She had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Not 10 assists. I'm so sorry.
10 steals.
10 steals.
Mm-hmm.
10 steals. 2 players in tournament history have had 30-point triple-doubles, and it is Hannah Hidalgo and Caitlin Clark. That is it. It was an all-time great. The other big thing to come out of the women's tournament was Gino just going off. We always get one Gino rant.
Had a couple of those. Had a couple of older coaches, one in the women's, one in the men's this weekend go off. But I'm sorry, go ahead about Gino.
No, but just one of those epic rants about, hey, just so you remember, the women are shafted every year in some capacity. And right now, his main point of ire is this 2-site regional format where you have 8 teams at both sites and you're having games and practices on the same day, and these teams are having to do shoot around at 6 in the morning. And then he called out the rims. He said these rims have never seen a basketball touch them in their life. And then in that UConn Notre Dame game, one of those shots hung on the rim. So I have never seen a shot hang on the rim that long. And it was like, when Gino speaks, maybe listen to Gino. The guy knows what he's talking about.
Took shots at the rims, at the balls, at the scheduling.
Everything.
And, I mean, rightfully so. Listen, man, I don't, to go through shoot around at 6:30 in the morning.
It's crazy.
Come on, man.
Like, this is supposed to be your premier event. You're making them do shoot around that time. Man. That's nuts.
Come on. And then on the men's side, what Bettino was saying after they suffered that loss to Duke about, hey, don't leave the losers in the locker room. If the winners are out there on the court doing interviews, let us come in and go ahead and knock these interviews out. It's a tough moment. It's hard. Nobody really wants to sit in the locker room 30 minutes, 45 minutes dealing with the stench of the failure. So let us come in here, get the interviews done, and get out of here. I thought both of those were things that needed to be heard.
And still need to be heard despite the tournament being awesome, right? Like something can be great and there can still be room for improvement. Because Pitino also said, I think he tweeted after the Duke UConn game, he's like, this is why this sport is the best. Yeah. It can be the best and there can be things that are continue to be fixed within the tournament. Gary Parrish is waiting for us. We're going to take a quick break. We will come back with GP, who has been working all tournament long. He will join us. We'll talk this incredible game from yesterday. We'll talk about the tournament thus far, set up the Final Four, and still ahead. We will talk Grizzlies because they did have an active weekend, and it is a Grizzlies game day here ahead tonight. All that and more with GP after a quick break.
Is he in? Where's he going to sit? He can't sit in his.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other?
Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
How much did life change at that very moment, right?
When
When you find out your daughter is on the way, it's like time to grow up, right?
For sure.
What's being a dad like?
Man, it's great, man. Depends on the day, though. You know, she just turned 2, so she
she's mobile now.
She learning the word no. She got a little bit of an attitude, but you know we going with the flow right now, man.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back. Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt from the other studio this morning. TMZ with a great idea in the chat, CJ. He said we should just start doing the show at random spots at FedEx Forum when this happens. Tomorrow, show from the Grizz Den. Next day, show from the Grizzlies locker room. Show from the lower bowl. Show from the Pinnacle area.
That's not real random. Right, you're naming places.
Okay. Show from
Come on, let's get real.
Arena Conference Room 2, where we have a training session.
There it
later
is.
today.
There it is. Show from the concession stand.
For today, though, we are in Gary Parrish's studio, and Gary Parrish joins us now. I'm sitting in your seat, GP. It's very comfortable. Now there's some music playing in my ear. I don't know what's happening today. It's been a day.
Hey, I'm glad you're keeping it warm. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How much sleep are you running on this morning?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I always feel stupid. Like, I always feel honest when I'm talking about that, but then also stupid because there's like real people out there doing harder jobs for probably, I assume, less money. And so when I'm like, I'm so tired, I always like picture a group of people rolling their eyes. So I haven't slept much. You can probably tell just by looking at me, but I'm in a nice hotel. I had a nice meal last night. I'm going to fly home on a nice plane today. I hope TSA and air traffic control do their jobs well. And, so things are good. I can see the finish line from here, and I'm looking forward to that.
I appreciate you always doing that, but I do think I don't roll my eyes at it. And all of what you just said can be true. There are absolutely other people who have it far more difficult in their lines of work, or their jobs are brain surgeons saving people's lives. But it is a fact that your job this time of year requires an insane amount of talking production with very little sleep. And for the average person, I don't think they understand how hard that is. I'm not trying to make it as this. I'm not trying to build it up as I'm not trying to say you're going to war, although that was a conversation here locally. What did you make of that? I'm going to break you from March Madness for 2 seconds and ask you your thoughts on Charles Huff, who had a very viral press conference over the weekend in which he said that he does not let his Memphis Tigers football team listen to music during practice because, quote, when Navy SEALs get ready to go on a mission, they're not listening to Little Baby.
Well, I think what we found out is that, perhaps they're not listening specifically to Little Baby, but they're listening to something often. The idea that they're not consuming music while they're training or even doing their jobs is, I think we've found out because of the internet is not technically true. I will say coaches have different opinions on this. I've seen it in basketball. I went down to a practice at Ole Miss a couple years ago, Chris Beard's running practice, and it was just music blaring almost the entire time. Like at 10:30 in the morning on a Wednesday, and like the music was blaring as they were practicing. And I was like, have you always done this? And he said, no. Like, no, nobody's always done this, but now it's a thing. And what I've noticed, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't want to quote him, but he was like, what I've noticed is it keeps everybody kind of moving. Like, and we're just sort of like bouncing a little bit as even me, like, this isn't necessarily my favorite artist, but it just sort of, the rhythm of it sort of keeps us moving and keeps us bouncing. And I just like the way I like the sound of it. And so I think it benefits us in practice. And other coaches are exactly like Charles Huff, like, no way, we're here to do a job. So there's a million different ways to do this. But I wasn't surprised that when he put it the way he put it, it got the attention that it got.
People always go the route of, you shouldn't be comparing football to the military. I could care less. Bottom line, I could care less if they listen to music or they don't. We'll see what the results are when the season begins. I love that he he has personality in these press conferences. And I know that's not what matters at the end of the day, but coming off of a year where the apathy got pretty high, to have somebody who is generating buzz in this way and has been since he was hired in his introductory press conference, I appreciate that. And it gave me a good chuckle to read through everybody's takes. And, I think I've shared this on my show before. A job that I did not know can't listen to music, factory workers. When Megan Triplett and I toured the Idahoan Potato Factory, yes, a real thing that happened as a result of Rise and Grind many years ago, one of the things that stunned us was these workers had to do these 8-hour shifts and in total silence, in total focus mode, because they didn't want, if a piece of equipment is malfunctioning or somebody's yelling, like you never want somebody's ears to be distracted by something else. And I was like, damn, that's one of the most impressive things I've ever heard, because similar to what you were saying, I love a little music to keep me going through. Some days I'll walk in the studio and CJ's playing music and I'm like, this put me in a good mood this morning. I feel like I'm more prepared to have a pep in my step, a little bounce as we start the show. But one way or the other, it doesn't really matter. But it was funny to see it all.
I think you could probably, I think this is true. If you poll coaches and other people who are in this stuff, I think this is what you would find out. You could play music during your practices. And if you have the right players and the right team, you could be awesome while doing it. And you could not play music during practices. And if you have the right players and the right team, you could be awesome while doing that. And at the end of the day, that aspect of how you run your program probably won't have much impact at all, one way or another. It is just you can just like in college basketball, you can play fast and win, or slow and win, shoot threes and win, don't shoot them and win. This is probably the same thing. Not that big of a deal, but like you, in the right context, I need the distraction or the sound or the something. But in other contexts, I don't. Like I walk in Vernon's studio on Fridays, and it's too there's too much going on for me.
Yeah.
Like Bennett would know that would drive me crazy. So like when Bennett will tell you this, I think you probably know this just from being around. But like I walk in that studio, and if Bennett happens to be there before I get there, this is our entire interaction. What's up? What's up? That's it. That's all we say to each other, because I'm there I'm going to sit down and I'm going to finish getting ready for what I need to do. And we'll talk, whatever we need to talk about, we'll do it when the cameras are on. We don't need to chit chat right now. I'm still trying to get my head around what I'm about to do. And if music were blaring then, I would be like, hey, turn that off. I'm trying to get locked in here and on what I'm doing. But in a different context, I would want the music. So I could make sense of this in a million different ways.
Well, you're welcome for really throwing you a curveball, because 99.9% of your interviews today, or media appearances that you will have to do, will all be circulated around one thing, and it is not Charles Huff talking about Memphis football.
I've rejected everything. I've rejected everything. This is, if you don't see me on Grind City Media today, you ain't seeing me.
You're not seeing GP at all.
This is all I'm doing today. I promise you. I've reached the point where this is the only place if I'm not already scheduled to talk, I'm not talking. You catch up with me after the season.
Well, like you, I was listening to you on Eye on College Basketball podcast this morning, and you were talking about your reaction to Braylon Mullins' shots and just how the game transpired down the stretch there for UConn. I was also screaming, foul! You're running out of time, foul. But that wasn't the strategy they went with. How did you see that entire thing playing out? And as you sit here this morning and have had some time to reflect on it.
It was a wild sequence. Like we sat there and watched the entire game together. Like I'm in studio here in Stamford, Connecticut, CBS Sports HQ with Matt Norlander and Avery Johnson, former NBA Coach of the Year. And we're all sort of consuming it together. Hakeem Dermish is our host. And I never thought UConn was winning that game until they were up with less than a second to play. There was no point in that game where it was like they're going to win this. Certainly no point after the game sort of settled into what it was. So that's just wild, in that respect. Watching Duke blow another big lead in an important game to eliminate them from a championship it looked like they could get, that was wild. But I understand what happened with Caden Boozer. I understand how all of that unfolded, but it is a mental mistake that turned into a physical mistake. Like you have to mess up twice for that to unfold the way that it unfolded. In other words, I, like you, was just yelling at UConn foul, 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 because I thought the clock was getting too late. And the truth is, if you go back and watch it, it really does come down to, in that moment, like a field goal attempt. Like this is a chip shot field goal attempt with everything on the line. And UConn sold out to block it. And all Caden Boozer had to do was just hold the ball or pump fake here, down here. There's a million different ways to not avoid what happened. And he did the one thing you cannot do. He made a bad decision and then he executed it poorly. He could have made a bad decision and executed it well and it works out. Or make a good decision and it works out. He made a poor decision, then he made a poor play, and he's going to have to sit with that forever. You saw him in tears in the locker room. Like, I feel sick for him because, perhaps I'm speaking out of turn because I'm not a twin and I'm not him, and I don't know what that would be like, I guess. But I would imagine he spent a lot of his life, even while being excellent at basketball, being reminded he's not his brother, because he's not. His brother's the National Player of the Year, and he's something less than that. And then to have this as the main thing people know about you. This is his Bill Buckner moment. And I hope he can undo it, or at least overwhelm it, at some point in the future, because that's, that seems like a hard thing to walk around with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I genuinely hate when people say this. I'm an empath, so I try not to say it often because it's always like weird therapy language. But just when I view sports, there are people who can watch that and say, damn, Caden Boozer, you messed up. And I'm going to laugh at that and enjoy the moment. And I did certainly enjoy the Mullins shot and everything that came with it. But I did find myself genuinely hurting for him. The other time I found myself genuinely hurting for a player over the weekend was the Grizzlies' latest 10-day signee, Adama Ball, was having himself a tough go against the Bulls, and I could sense some frustrations growing. And then he had a 3 late in that game, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy for I can like release this stress that I have felt for Adama. I'm just saying that to put the total picture in. Like, I'm feeling things about Adama Ball on March. That is not a sentence I should be saying. So when it happens to someone like a Caden Boozer with the brother element of it, and with the all eyes on you in one of the biggest games, in a moment that will now be remembered forever, right? Like, that is the kind of shot that we will now talk about in the annals of college basketball for the test of time. Where does it rank for you, Gary, on the immediacy? I know sometimes we have to let these things, take the time and see where they sit, but coming out of last night and sitting here this morning, how do you think the Mullins shot will be remembered in ranking up against other great shots that we've seen?
I think some of it will be dictated by what happens next, right? Does UConn go on to win a third championship in 4 years? Then it goes down maybe right there with Christian Laettner. If they just lose by 11 in the national semifinals, perhaps it's just a thing that happened on the way to them losing in the national semifinals. So as always, we'll see. But the way I tried to put it last night while we were talking about it is, we all know Bryce Drew. And not because he's Scott's brother, not because he's the coach at Grand Canyon, not because he used to coach at Vandy, but because he hit a shot against Ole Miss in the round of 64. Now, keep in mind, this was Valpo, Ole Miss, round of 64. I can still remember that shot happening. I was in the Daily Helmsman newspaper office, the journalism building at the University of Memphis, watching that game on a Cube TV, if you can even remember what those things were. And so that's a thing we see every March. It's a thing Bryce is most closely connected to, no matter what he does in his coaching career. And that was a round of 64 game between two teams that did not matter. This was Duke and UConn in the Elite Eight. This was the National Player of the Year on one side, a guy who's already won 2 national championships on the other, the biggest brand in Duke, 2 blue bloods in Duke and UConn, and the win probability for Duke at one point was 98.7. There was a 1.3% chance that UConn could somehow pull this off, and they did it. And then just the way it unfolds, because though it happens in a crazy way, once that ball is tipped, you can almost sort of, it's felt like slow motion, oh, here we go. And then the shot is buried. It's an all-timer for me. It'll be remembered forever, regardless of what happens next. But if UConn goes and does something crazy, like win this whole thing, it's up there as perhaps the greatest March moment of all time. And if not that exactly, it's certainly very high on the list.
Oh, I become such a absolute nerd where I'm already thinking, man, if UConn were to win it, where does that shot fit in the one shining moment video? Because it can't be the beginning, but it almost works perfectly for the beginning because it's like the ball is tipped. And that's not the kind of tip that we're talking about here. That's not how this is supposed to go. But it would just be the ultimate crescendo of all crescendos to lead into a Final Four run for a team.
To me, that is the perfect part of it. And it can be dissected a lot of different ways. But the whole time, not the whole time, but it certainly once the ball is delivered to Caden Boozer, I mean, there's video. They had cameras on us, which I didn't even know they had cameras on us, or at least I guess I knew. I don't want to imply
I was okay, Truman Show.
Yeah, I don't mean that. Because then there's somebody who was like, "We told you they." I don't guess I properly appreciated that cameras were on us. I was just sort of forgot about it. We were watching the game. But if you go back and watch that, because it's been tweeted and whatever everywhere, you can see me go, "You got to foul, you got to foul." Like that's the first thing you see in the video is me saying, "You got to foul, you got to foul," because it felt like try to trap, get the turnover, but it's too late now. And if you go back and look, every UConn player was in this part of the court. There were 2 Duke players on this end of the court. That is why Caden Boozer tried to get the ball to him. It very much, if you can think of this like a extra point in football, like that is the best way to try to understand what happened. Extra point in football, in other words, is a chip shot for anybody with a foot. And UConn sort of sold out not to foul. Even when I'm on video saying you got to foul, they're not trying to foul. They're trying to get their fingers on that ball. And they both jump. And if that ball gets past those fingers, the game is over. It doesn't matter what happens next. You could throw the ball straight up in the air. You could bounce it, anything. As long as it gets past Silas Demery, the game's over and you win. Or you could just wrap it up, take the hit, go make free throws, and the game is over. The only way UConn wins in that moment, at that point, it's not even about fouling because they're not even trying to foul you. It's if they can get a finger on the ball, if they can block the extra point against all odds, and they got it.
Yeah.
And then it's even more complicated than that because in football, all you got to do is block the extra point.
Now you have to block the extra point and draw.
And make a 35-footer.
Yeah.
You have to block the extra point and then make a 35-foot shot. But that 35-foot shot with a clean look is not that difficult for somebody that shoots it the way Braylon Mullins shoots the ball. If all you do is watch basketball games, it might look unusual to see somebody shoot it from there. If you go to basketball practices, it's all they do.
The time.
That's all that. You could take, just to name anybody, Cam Spencer, put him 35 feet from the basket, and he would make 60% of those. Just in a gym by himself, he would make like more than half of them from 35 feet. Just clean looks in rhythm. He'd just knock them down all day. He could not be more comfortable shooting from there in part because of Steph, perhaps other people, but mostly because of Steph. We have an entire generation of basketball players who have grown up just shooting the ball from 35 feet. And so it's very comfortable now. And that's why Carabin was brilliant to get the ball to him, because Alex Carabin could have launched from 30 and it would have been reasonable and what most other players would have done in that moment. But he had, I believe, 2 players in front of him. You could back it up to 35 feet, give it to a better shooter, even if he hadn't been shooting well in this game, and it's a totally clean look and rhythm. Once it left from the angle on television, which is what I was watching, just like you don't really know if it's online or not. But hand to heart, when he launched, it just looked in rhythm and clean, and I was like, this. When you combine in rhythm, clean with he's an excellent shooter, this is gonna have a chance. This is gonna have a chance, and then it swished. It could not have swished more perfectly.
We now have the Final Four set: Illinois, UConn, Michigan, Arizona. The story of the Final Four is what? The biggest story of this Final Four is what?
I mean, I think now it's going to be UConn.
Can UConn complete this?
I mean, it would be 3 national championships in a 4-year span. For Alex Karabin, it would be 3 national championships in a 4-year span. Keep in mind, that's all college basketball players used to could win. Like Bill Walton could only win 3. Kareem could only win, or Lou Alcindor could only win 3 because of freshman eligibility. So he could end up with 3 just like them. And then the only time he didn't win it would be they lost to Florida, the eventual national champion, in the 2025 NCAA tournament. So I think at this point, UConn becomes the story. But Michigan, Arizona, in terms of KenPom numbers, are like 2 of the best ever. Like in more than 20 years of efficiency numbers and all this advanced stuff. And 2 of the best, most efficient basketball teams we've ever seen are playing each other in the nightcap on Saturday in Michigan and Arizona. So whoever wins that game will be favored on Monday night, and would have been no matter if Duke got here as well. Even though Duke was the number 1 overall seed, Michigan and Arizona have moved to number 1 and number 2 in the advanced metrics, the predictive metrics. And so UConn's probably the story. But that Michigan-Arizona game, I saw somebody last night have data and they could support it, and I'll probably dive into this more later. But they said you could reasonably, based on nothing more than computer numbers, call this the game of a generation. Like this is we don't see 2 basketball teams of this caliber play each other in the college very often. So UConn gets all the attention, but that Michigan-Arizona game, that's an all-time great game between all-time great teams.
CJ's excited for it.
Thrilled. Can't wait.
Gary, get home safe. Host your show safe, and then get home safe. And then
I don't know if you've been watching the news, but I don't think that's up to me.
I don't think you don't have a lot of agency in it. I mean, you could like trip and fall when you leave your hotel room and hit your head, and that would be devastating.
Isn't that like I imagine that's like on the list of the ways that I'm going to get out of this thing.
Really?
Like that's like it's got to be on the list of it. That seems more likely than me like dying at 99 peacefully.
Yeah.
just
like a
banging
little
my head.
whoopsie-doo.
Just banging my head in the hotel room seems more likely than that.
Yeah, I'm going to bang my head on one of these boxes in your studio one of these days, and it's going to be the one that's enough. It's always awful, and I say this respectfully because she left an impact.
CJ, it's a tight space. You know that.
It's a tight space. Respectfully, I'll always say, please don't let me be a Natasha Richardson. One of our great actresses gone too soon because she was in the skiing accident, hit her head, was like, I'm fine, and then went to bed and was not fine. So I think about that all the time. Anytime I hit my head, even just a little bit, I don't know what the threshold is where like I need to go to the hospital because I might have a brain bleed.
I had this thought like last week. I'm not like, no, I had this thought last week because Bob Saget, isn't that the Bob Saget story?
Yes, same thing. Yes, the Bob Saget story, the Natasha Richardson story, the same thing happened.
True story. Like the way my nights end typically is I get out of the studio whatever time and I'm wide awake. And so I sit down at a desk just like this and I work. I set up everything and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to knock out anything I can do. And then at some point I transition to the bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish working in the bed. And then eventually it's like, all right, now I'm asleep. That's the way the night goes every time. And the other night I was doing the move from the desk to the bed and I like sat down and like sort of accidentally was just like, boom, like just sort of sat down and was like, boom, it hit the back of my head. And I was like,
and you had this thought.
I was like, what if that's it? What if that's it?
I'm telling you.
I was like, what if I just did it? What if I just ended myself?
It scares me
all I was trying to do is get in bed. But what if that's it? I was like, what if I only have like 17 seconds left? And then I counted down. I was like, all right.
Yeah, well.
Do I need to text anybody?
It would have been sad. You would have missed such a great game last night.
It was like 4:15 in the morning. I didn't even know who. I was like, should I call my wife?
Oh.
Like,
I have that too. I've tried to be better about this because I am an oversharer to Chris when I'm going through something that I think might be the end. And I was sitting next to your wonderful producer, Bennett Doyle, at the Grizzlies game on Friday night. And I had this really bad chest pain.
Oh.
And I started to text Chris and then I stopped. But I tapped Bennett and I said, man, if something happens, I've had this really bad chest pain. He goes, JB, that's just getting old. And I said, oh,
Yeah,
thank
you don't even know. You
But
have
then
no
he
idea.
had an aspirin in his pocket. He's like, do you want to chew an aspirin? I said, I'm not ready for that.
He's carrying aspirin. Ben is carrying aspirin in his pocket.
If you ever need an aspirin, Ben has got one in his pocket.
Hey, I'm laughing at him. You ready?
He's smart. He's prepared. Oh, my God. Well, I'm glad that won't take you out. The bang in your head,
hey,
right?
Hey, you're gonna get to a point where you're carrying aspirin too. I don't keep it in my pocket.
Sooner than
I don't keep it in my pocket. That seems outrageous. I'm not carrying around aspirin in my
Let me
pocket.
just get my pocket aspirin out if you need it.
But do I have it? Do I have it all the time so that I hopefully won't have a heart attack?
Great.
Yes.
Congratulations on your preparedness.
This is designed to keep me from having a heart attack.
So funny.
Yeah. So you can have your little chest pains. You have no idea. Like I've been limping for 2 weeks. I don't even know why.
Oh God.
I've been limping for 2 weeks. People ask me what's wrong. I don't know what to tell them.
Know.
Nothing's wrong.
He said, I work for the Memphis
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. I'm on the injury report. We don't ask questions. I'm just the 14th body, okay?
Yeah, everything. I worked at 92.9 for 13 years and walked around fine, no problem. Took a job at Grind City. Now I limp nonstop.
All right, GP. We'll see you next time. And get home safe, I guess. Bye.
All right, I'll see you
That was
later.
Gary
Bye.
Parrish. You can watch The Gary Parrish Show weekday mornings at 10 a.m. right from this here studio on Grind City Media. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about those Memphis Grizzlies. I got another email from Grizz PR. Well, technically, it's from the Grizzlies communications team with a Memphis Grizzlies medical update. And I watched 2 Grizzlies games this weekend right here at FedEx Forum. I'm going to watch another one tonight. We'll get into it after a quick break. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies Vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
The Grizzlies have been consistent as one of the top 2 or 3 most productive benches all season long.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Welcome back. Thanks to GP for joining us as always. The Grizzlies had a busy week, and the Grizzlies have a busy week. We have 6 straight home games, and we got Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. We had Friday, Saturday over the weekend. A loss to the Rockets on Friday, and then, by God, the Grizzlies got a win. They beat the Bulls on Saturday. The end of the game was goofy. It was a little goofy. Bulls seemingly in position off a steal to make a game-winning layup off that Grizzlies turnover. Trey Jones in transition had a shot at the rim. Passed it back to Colin Sexton, who laid it in just a little too late. Nobody knew what happened at the end of the game. I was waiting to see if I needed to go do a walk-off interview. The Grizz girls were in front of me. Everyone is stoic. Everyone is statuesque. No one knew what to do with their hands. And Lang Whitaker finally goes, go, they won.
Thank goodness Lang was there.
Thank goodness Lang was there to save the day. Listen, I know it's not about the wins right now because, trust me, I've had a little bit of difficulty. I went out to a friend's wedding after the game on Saturday.
Oh.
And when people would say, the Grizzlies won, nobody really knows how to emote on that. Like, is it, hey, wow, the Grizzlies won? Or is it, oh, the Grizzlies won? Coming off a weekend where the Mavs had beaten the Trailblazers on Friday night. So in terms of positioning, the Pelicans are right there. I know it is not about the wins. There was something so sweet about getting Tyler Burton on his second 10-day contract as my walk-off interview at FedEx Forum on Saturday night. His first ever walk-off interview here with the Grizzlies, and him getting mobbed by Gigi and Deke, and I think Jemai Mashak was in there too. And he has to apologize for not hearing the question. Like, I haven't had a mob interview in like a year and a half, where players have come and joined in on the interview. And it brought me joy. It legitimately brought me joy. And for someone like Tyler Burton, who is one of these guys trying to play his way into whatever his future looks like, whether it be another season with the Memphis Hustle or an opportunity elsewhere, like, those are big moments. And to be able to take advantage of it, he had 18 points in the win. Now, do the Bulls stink, stunk? Were the Bulls trying to win that game? I don't know. But at the end of the day, Colin Sexton, Josh Giddey, Matas Buzelis, and Isaac Okoro probably should have been able to beat a lineup that was on the court at the end of the game. They ended up bringing Gigi back in and subbing Ryan Rupert out. But like Walter Clayton, Mashak, Adama Ball, as I mentioned earlier with Gary, Cedric Coward. It was a nice win for a Grizzlies team that I think was feeling the effects of this 5-game losing streak. They had won one of their last 14 games going into Saturday night. Cedric Coward had the kind of game that I've really wanted to see from Cedric Coward, 24 points, but not just about the scoring. He took 19 shots. I love seeing a more high-volume game from him. Also had 9 rebounds, was just all over the place, impacting the game in a lot of ways. And Gigi had that kind of game too, because if you just looked at scoring for Gigi, he didn't have a great offensive game. He was frustrated too. And we'll talk about his comments from following the Rockets game, because I don't think he was going to get any calls in the first half of the game against the Bulls on Saturday. He did get some calls in the second half and finally saw a bucket fall and like reached to the heavens and screamed in elation. He was like a plus 18 in that by far. And we know, plus minus a flawed stat. But he had the kind of game Saturday where you're like, ooh, these are the kind of games that I like to see from Gigi, because it shows in a situation where if he's a part of this team, he's not just going out and hunting for baskets. And we've seen that throughout the year. And I thought Saturdays was like the total encapsulation of that process for Gigi.
Great.
Did you watch any of it?
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I didn't mean to put you in a bad spot. I know you were really busy. I know you had really busy things. Did you see Gigi's comments coming off?
No, I missed that entirely.
You missed it? Oh,
don't listen.
Okay, this is one of those things that was like,
don't get wide-eyed with me.
It was everywhere.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, well,
it was
wasn't
like
where I was.
on ESPN's
don't know how I missed
headlines
it.
from the night before. So the Rockets win. Surprise, surprise. Another hard-fought game by the Grizzlies. A career high for Omax Prosper. 31 points for Omax in the loss. But Gigi went off on the refs afterwards.
Oh,
and
good for him.
He and Javon Small both had, I think, 12 of their 14 points in the first half. And he was asked about like what changed in the second half. And he said, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. I felt like I was getting downhill, being physical, getting no calls. But Kevin Durant can just jab, step, then jump up and down. Your hand can be right there. And you can clearly see on the replay that nobody touched him. And now you have, and he couldn't think of the guy's name, Tari Eason is who it was, saying, bruh, you're not KD. And I'm like, bruh, on this court right now, I'm the closest thing to him. Loved it. I loved the confidence. And then he went on. He was like, it's unbelievable how the refs can suck up to somebody. He's the GOAT, so I respect him. But as far as our other guys, we bust our bleepity bleep like he does too. We tie our shoes like he ties his shoes. But next game mentality, we have to flush this one. He went on to call John Goble Mr. John and said he tried to ask him about a play. And he was like, Goble said, I didn't see the whole play. And Gigi said, then why are you out here reffing? It was... To talk about enjoying like the mob interview with Tyler Burton, that availability from Gigi, it was a breath of fresh air. And again, like I think it had just reached frustration. It's not as if I think Kevin Durant only took 7 free throws in that game, and it wasn't a wild difference. I thought the game against the Bulls, my God, that was like the longest regulation game. I don't have that as a fact, but it felt that way. There were 50-something fouls called between the two teams in that one. But anyway, I appreciated the confidence from Gigi, and I appreciated the character. I was surprised he didn't get hit with a little, you're not supposed to say those things. Fine, maybe. But he, knock on wood. Knock on wood.
All right. Good for them.
We did get another Grizzlies medical update.
Who's left?
Jalen Wells. I told you. I literally told you. You were like, well, that should be the last one of the season. And I said, not so fast, my friend. Are you familiar with the process here? Jalen Wells sustained a, wait for it, tendon avulsion fracture in his right great toe.
They got a foot thing going on, man.
He's having a procedure. Memphis Grizzlies? Foot fetish too? I didn't say it.
You just did. Put him up on Feet Finder.
They have so many toe issues. My God.
So many toes.
How can you have so many?
Like, find a different, we know what it is. Just find a different body part.
Like, what's wrong with some fingers?
Yeah. I guess their thought is, if we say it's a toe. Like,
well, no, his is legit. I'm not trying. He's on crutches, CJ. He's been on crutches the last couple of games. Full crutches. Like those fancy ones. At first, he had a cane, and now he has crutches.
Yeah, y'all got it.
So, out tonight for the Grizzlies.
What's the recovery time for his emplasia or whatever the hell it is?
It did not say it specifically.
What does he have?
A tendon avulsion fracture in his right great toe. Okay. He's having a procedure. He's expected to make a full recovery. A timeline will be provided after the procedure, but God bless, we're running out of games. So I would assume it did not have the words season-ending procedure, which is wild. We have like 8 games left. I don't know how quick you can bounce back from a tendon avulsion fracture, but I guess we're about to find out. He's out. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s out with his toe situation. I guess we only have 2 toes. It feels like infinite toes.
Who has a sesamodectomy?
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Okay.
Kenny Caldwell-Pope has the finger.
All right.
Brandon Clark calf, totally normal. Zach Edey, ankle and elbow. Edey's in a sling.
Okay.
John Morant, elbow. Ty Jerome, ankle. Santi Aldama, knee. And now, doubtful for tonight's matchup, Taj Gibson, Omax Prosper with wrist soreness. I was writing in my journal. I had some wrist soreness this weekend as well. Javon Small, lower back soreness. And then questionable, Walter Clayton and Deke Giroux. So we will see who plays tonight for your Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, joy. It'll be fun.
Speaking of joy, I can't wait for Music Friday this week. The new Ray album.
Okay.
Maybe my favorite album I've listened to since Cowboy Carter.
Oh, nice.
In its totality. It's a journey. It's very cinematic. And there's a song called Joy that just brings nothing but great joy into my heart. All right, let's do a little Hot Mess Express. I don't even know if we have the graphics. Do we have the graphics?
I don't know. We'll
That's
find
fine.
out.
If there is, play the Hot Mess Express. Nope, Jacob says no, which I have to tell CJ because CJ can't hear Jacob this whole show. And CJ couldn't hear Gary in the entire last interview.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I want to give you total credit because you played it so well.
Just laugh when you laugh. It's fine.
Man, you want to know what we forgot?
No.
For today's show?
What?
Tiger Woods got arrested.
That happened
Friday.
a week ago.
Friday, right?
Yes.
Or
That happened
Saturday.
Friday? Thursday night? Friday?
It was
I think
Friday.
we found out Friday that it happened.
It was, yeah.
I think it happened Thursday night, and we found out Friday after the show that it
I thought it
happened.
happened Friday during the day.
Ooh.
Because that car was in the light.
Okay.
And Tiger behind that car was in the light.
Hey.
Anyway, arrested and charged with a DUI after flipping over his Range Rover when it clipped the back of a work truck. He blew zeros, but he refused a urine test. He has now been in 3 different traffic-related incidents in the last 6 years. This is his second DUI. Because if you remember, he got the first one when he fell asleep in the car. And then this is his second accident.
You're Tiger Woods, man. At this point, just hire a driver.
Full-time driver.
Hire a driver.
People have popped off a lot of jokes, and I get it. I saw the mugshot. Hire a driver. He can drive, but he can't drive. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's not okay.
No.
He's not okay. And nobody in the golf world has wanted to explicitly come out and say he is not okay.
We don't need them to tell us he's not. We know he's not. We know it. We know
But you're
it.
putting other people
At this
lives
point,
in jeopardy, and like that's just stupid.
like if you want to off yourself, man, whatever. Don't do it, but whatever.
do
But
that.
the second you end up running over somebody or running into somebody, then this is going to be from a jokey joke type thing to a, oh no, this is a real deal
Horrifying.
tragedy.
Yeah.
Like just hire a driver. I don't know what meds you take, man. But whatever it is,
I know you've
like
been
to
through a lot.
deal with the pain. No,
Infinite
you've been
surgeries.
through a lot. Hire a driver so this doesn't get like much worse.
It was crazy. Earlier in the day, like Trump had just randomly announced that he wasn't going to play in the Masters. Like it wasn't like an official update. It was like during a press conference. He was like, yeah, Tiger's going to be in Augusta. He's not playing. And I was like, well, I guess there's that, as everybody saw him play in the TGL this week and the thought that maybe he'd be able to play. But obviously he has bigger things going on. So that was the Tiger Woods of it all. More Hot Mess Express stories. Funnier Hot Mess Express stories. The horn went off in the Illinois-Iowa game for 7 minutes. 7 minutes of just... They could not get it to turn off. Apparently, their horn is connected to the scoreboard, and the scoreboard system froze. And so the horn's just going on for 7 minutes. The game's delayed for 11 minutes. Okay, this is an Elite 8 game. Like, shot to the Final Four on the line. You had to have these guys out there continuing to warm up in the middle of their game. I think it was one of the Iowa players was asked at halftime, like, has this ever happened to you before? I'm like, of course it's never happened to him before. There's no way that this has ever happened to him before. They had to shut down the whole video board and use a manual horn the rest of the game. And I wanted there to be a buzzer beater in this game more than I wanted anything in this world. Because if I had gotten a live video of the man running the air horn going, or having some sort of, like, was it off in time? Was it like the perfect buzzer beater? Was there a 10th second left on the clock? I would have very much enjoyed that.
That's such a high stress job because that horn sound, not just
awful.
like sub come in or a TV timeout, but at the end of the shot clock, to your point, end of the halves, that horn sound. So you've got to be on it, paying attention. 3, 2, 1, horn because the shot clock has been violated. That's not a job I'd want to have, but that was hilarious.
And everyone's like losing their collective minds because it just
keeps
the worst
going.
Sound. If that happened at a Grizzlies game, right? Like if that happened tonight at the Grizzlies game, I don't think people could take it any longer. Okay. I get it. Did you see how the Clippers-Pacers game ended?
I did not.
I'll tell you about it. I
Tell
sent
me.
Jacob a 4-minute video, and I said, just kidding. You don't have to clip this 4-minute video. There's no way we're going to show the whole video. But I will summarize it for you. Clippers-Pacers over the weekend. Kawhi hits a jumper with like 0.4 seconds left on the clock to give them their first lead of the game. They trailed by 24. Kawhi hits it. They're up. Following inbounds for the Pacers, Nembhard throws it into the basket from out of bounds. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You do a length of the court?
No. He was... on the
baser.
Yeah,
okay, so in the half court, they
advance
advance it, and he's throwing it to the basket and goes in.
Trying to throw a lob.
Yeah.
He throws it in.
Okay.
That's a turnover.
Yeah.
Clippers go to inbound the ball. Gets
Okay.
to Benedict Mathurin. He's fouled.
All right.
With like 0.2 seconds left on the clock. He misses both free throws. Jay Huff gets the rebound of the second shot.
Oh my goodness. They just threw up to the ground.
And Jay Huff is fouled. Guess what?
What?
He misses both.
He doesn't miss both.
He misses both.
There's no way he misses
Ball
both.
don't lie. He misses both. And so within like however long this took to play out, you had a game winner, a rare lobbed in from out of bounds.
Huff Daddy, no.
And then 4 missed free throws between Bennett Mathurin and Jay Huff.
Come on, Huff.
He misses both. That's literally
Oh, no.
ball don't lie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like the dumbest thing I've seen. Other than that, the other dumbest thing in the NBA this weekend was that the Orlando Magic allowed a real live 31-0 run in an NBA game. What do you think you are?
31?
UConn Syracuse? You think this is a women's first round game against UConn? No. 31-0 run from the Raptors against the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic are down so bad, which is great for Grizzlies draft aspirations, but terrible for the Orlando Magic.
This was a team who, after the Bane trade, I know I was like, oh, this is a
supposed to be a
top
contender.
This is a top 3 team in the East.
It was supposed to be something.
People are, hey, Halliburton is out and Tatum is out. This is a gettable conference. Multiple people were like, oh yeah, the Magic, 1 seed. That's what they're gunning for. And this is what they are? A 31-0 run to the Raptors?
This 8-10 battle in the East is by far not the most exciting thing of the end of the regular season, but it might be the stupidest.
Mm-hmm.
Like Magic 39-35, Heat 39-36, and Hornets 39-36.
Oh man.
The Magic could absolutely fall down into that 10 spot in the Eastern Conference. Not
Yikes.
great. That would be a big yikes. What else happened? A 12-ton shipment of KitKats was stolen.
What a story.
12-ton shipment of KitKats.
What a story.
I'm going to go out on a limb and wonder if they were just plain KitKats. KitKat says they were. Confirmed that the product was stolen. It was on a truck making its way from central Italy to Poland when it was stolen, and its contents remain unaccounted for. Quote,
They say it's stolen. Like, how do we steal 12 tons of KitKat
that's a
truck?
really great question.
Are we running up masked up?
they-
Masked up?
Break me off a piece of that?
Maybe. Maybe. Were the keys left running? And somebody just hopped into the car?
I don't
Like,
know.
I can't imagine this is set it off style. A bunch of women in braids with the mask on run up to the truck, get out, and everybody gets out and they take it
But why do you want that truck of KitKats?
to sell. To sell them.
Before Easter?
Yeah.
Because they're now having a big shortage before Easter.
Well, that's
The
a shortage
the
for
Kitty Catties are
them to deal with
popular.
over yonder way. We got Kit Kats over here. We're good. Because that's between Italy
Also,
and
I
Poland.
did not realize.
We're good.
So are we making Kit Kats? Where is the Nestle factory?
Nestle
Is
factory
Nestle is Nestle
here.
Kit Kat?
Yeah, Nestle is here.
Okay.
Nestle is here, but I'm assuming they got factories all over the place. That's my assumption.
Nestle Italiana.
Wait, is Nestle in Italy? Nestle
There's 3 Nestle factories in Italy.
Okay, but Nestle is ours, isn't it?
Let's find out.
I'm pretty sure Nestle is American. If not,
Oh no, we're so stupid. It's Swiss.
oh,
Of course.
okay.
I feel like most chocolate corporations are Swiss.
Not Hershey. That's us.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's own.
Yep.
That we made Hershey, I think, to try to compete with the Nestle's and the Cadburys and
Okay.
the other chocolate companies.
Okay.
Lindt.
So we got Kit Kats loose on the black
Anyway,
market now.
Yeah. Get your Kit Kat.
Can't scan them because, like, it shows up stolen now.
No, you're just selling them out of a box
Yeah.
like the kids at the mall.
Just a bunch of kids
Hey, I've
walking
got a
around.
basketball tournament. You want a Kit Kat? See
You got a
what?
Dude, it's amazing how many damn
tournament, summer
basketball
camp. I'm always like,
tournaments.
I'm like, keep the Kit Kat. Here's a 5.
At one point in time, some kids ran up to me over by the Sprouts off of Poplar, and like,
Okay.
yeah, we got a football game we're trying to get to. It's like, oh, really? Where's your football game? In Florida. It's like, oh, let's talk about that some more.
Where is it?
What school do you play for? It's not with the school. It's a AAU team.
special one.
But it's like school season. You understand? It's September, October. This is for this is school season. Like, yeah, no. We're just going. And then the buddy came in and came up with an even better lie. I was like, okay, for the creativity, here you guys go. Keep the candy though.
For the creativity.
For the creativity, keep
Chris
the
and I
candy.
got hustled so hard this weekend.
When?
At Central Station for
Okay.
this wedding that I
Yeah.
joined. Shout out Colin Cody and his beautiful wife, Georgia. Colin Cody has come on the Grizz Beat here at Grind City Media many a times over at WREG at a beautiful wedding. I, of course, was watching the brilliant basketball being played between the Grizzlies and the Bulls, so I had to arrive late. So they had left the wedding venue, and we all met at Central Station. Great spot, by the way. I don't give Central Station enough credit. It's just a little far for me on my downtown journey. It's such an easy walk. But good vibes, really crowded, but plenty of places to sit because they have those stairs, yada, yada, yada. There was a man in there. And shout out to this man whose name I don't know, but I should respect you because you got $35 from my family this weekend.
Wait, $35?
$35. He's selling roses.
Yes.
Okay. And Chris, God bless him, he was telling everyone, isn't my wife the most beautiful woman in the world? And this man heard him and said, if she's the most beautiful woman in the world, you should buy her 2 roses. And Chris said, what'll that cost me? He said, $20. And Chris said, no, I can't. $20 for 2 roses. I can't do it. Move on with our night. The man comes back and he goes, your husband rebuffed me. He must not think that you are actually the most beautiful woman in the world, or else he would buy you these roses. And I was like, man, I'm sober. I've been at a game. You can't get me. But I appreciate watching how hard that you're working in this situation. So, I'll tell you what. I don't need a rose. I don't need anything. Here's $15. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll give you 15 for no roses. How about that as a deal? Great. So the day goes on, night goes on, whatever. I don't think anything of it. Chris and I are talking yesterday, and he goes, man, I can't believe I gave that rose guy $20. And
Where were the roses?
I was like, what? He got them for the bride. The bride was late arriving. She had some outfit change mishaps that were going on. And Chris was like, yeah. I ended up going back to him, and I was like, it'd be really nice to send the bride 2 roses. And that man got $35. I was like, good for him. Good for him. I never saw a rose. But the bride got the roses, and that was fine. Anyway,
all right.
Shout out to the hustle. All right, we got to go because this is Gary's studio, and Bennett's got to get in here. But I am sad we didn't talk about Oregon Northwestern softball. That was called. Oh, well, you'll never know what happened between Oregon and Northwestern softball this weekend. The game was called off in the middle of the 7th inning because they ran out of time. That'll do it for today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Mike Wallace will be here. Will Coleman will be here. We'll be coming off a Grizzlies game night. Grizzlies Suns. No Dylan Brooks tonight, which is a bummer as he keeps trying to work his way back from his hand injury. But we will see how the Grizzlies perform. Can they string 2 wins in a row? We shall see. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.